Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Tasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know what it is that I am doing here. Let me tell you a little bit about it. I am a love coach specifically for women who are currently staying, who are dealing with healing and reconciling after infidelity. You're staying. You're there. Even though you thought this was a deal breaker, you believed that you would be out the door, that you would kick him to the curb. Come to find out, you actually really deeply love this person and you very much want to work this relationship out. Now, there are a lot of reasons that people say, but honestly, the only real reason that is valid is because you want to. I know there's, the finances, the kids. None of that is going to help you, okay? I am here to tell you that this is the person that you love. This is the person that you wanted to have your fairy tale with. And you're not ready to let that go. You don't want to come to the end of this story just yet. Not this way. Not in pain, not in turmoil, not in sadness, because you had a love that touched you so deeply that you actually thought about forgiving this person. That's a deep love. That's a deep, strong love. And if you had that, and that is what has been driving you, that is what has been pushing you, I am here to tell you that you absolutely can get your happy ending. And I want to be your fairy godmother to point you the way out of the woods back to your castle with your boo. Okay? I know the way because I've walked that path myself. I was cheated on numerous times. All right. It wasn't once. Okay. It was a course of 4 freaking years that I had to deal with this. But that once a cheater, always a cheater thing, that's not real. That's just fear. That's all that is. That is not real. People change all the time. People do better all the time. And so if you believe in your person and you think that they can do better, go ahead and go for that. Go ahead and believe in yourself, believe in your own judgment enough to feel like, okay, I'm going to give them a chance. I think that they can change. I think that they can be different. I did, and it paid off. All right. My husband is a better and better husband every year. I don't have to worry anything about the cheating stuff. I don't even have to worry about him looking like he's trying to be inappropriate anymore. Like, we have gotten rid of all of the behaviors that went along with the cheating. Okay. So you can get there, and it's not once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not real. We're not always anything as people. So trying to believe that is going to mess you up and not let you have the love that you want. I'm here in service of that love. I am here in service of you really love this person. You would really like to be with them. You want this to work out. I believe that you can work it out. I am fully for you. I am backing you. I got programs to help you, okay? Including my After Infidelity Mastermind. That is going on right now. The first is the last day to get in on that. So if you are interested in joining my group, it is $250 a month for 3 months. If you pay up front, it's only $500. It's $500 to knock off that last payment. But if you are serious, if you are tired of messing around, if you are tired of being sad, if you're tired of being angry, you want to figure your way out of the woods. You want to get back to your happy, beautiful love story. I can show you the way in my After Infidelity Mastermind. This is group coaching. It's 12 weeks, so 3 full months of coaching every week. Every week you can come. We will discuss something. I will give you some kind of teaching. You all can ask me any questions that you want. We will come up with plans for you going forward each and every week for 12 weeks. You won't have to guess anymore. You won't have to try and figure out how you're going to heal this from this infidelity anymore if you join my After Infidelity Mastermind. Okay, so $250. Go ahead and click on the link in the group. It's in the group. It is in my bio. And if you don't see it, go ahead and just DM me, AIM. Go ahead and DM me that, and I will get back to you with the link. Okay, but I teach the exact same things that I'm teaching you right now. These things that I'm about to teach you are things that I'm going to reinforce to you when we're in the group, okay? Because these are important things. We are healing from a trauma. That is what this is. Okay, we got to take it at least seriously enough to understand that that's what it is. We are healing from a trauma. We must go ahead and do the things that will help us to heal from it. Okay. So when I'm telling you these next four things, these are things that are going to help you to regulate your brain to get you out of that traumatized state, get you back to your right mind so that you can make the best decisions that you can possibly make. So you can see this situation clearly instead of through a lens of fear and pain. You can see it very clearly with your own brain, and you will be able to decide what you want to do going forward. But we've got to get to the place where we've started to wrestle this trauma into submission before we can get there, okay? So these four things I'm always going to tell you every time we get together. These are the things that I tell my clients every day and remind them of because I want them to go ahead and do them. So starting with, I need you to be doing your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? If you've not been doing your deep breathing, you are doing yourself a disservice. I promise you, it is better if you do your deep breathing. If you start doing your deep breathing on a regular basis, what you are doing is challenging that fight or flight response that's going on in your brain. Your brain, after this trauma, sees everything as a danger. Everything is scary. And so you're constantly on the edge of having a little bit of adrenaline spurted into your system to get you into fight or flight over and over and over again. Okay, number one, that feeling can be addictive. You can get addicted to feeling like crap. Okay, it's not hard. It is not a difficult thing to do to get addicted to that rush of emotion, that pain. It's not hard to do. All right, so we got to stop that from happening every single solitary time. It's not good for us. But besides that, that happens to you over and over and over again, and it's hard for you to regulate your emotions. It's hard for you to think straight because you are constantly in a state of fear. You're constantly in a state where you want to fight or run away. And that's not conducive to a happy relationship. That's just not going to work. So we know that we have to get out of that mindset. And the easiest thing to do to get you out of that mindset is to do your deep breathing. If you do your deep breathing consistently, 5 times a day. If you do it consistently like that, you will notice a difference. Your brain will be working differently if you start to do this because you are doing the breathing of actually, no, I am not in any danger. I do not need to fight. I do not need to run. Everything is fine. That is what you are doing when you are doing the deep breathing. It is the opposite of the breathing that you do when you're freaked out. When you're freaked out, your breath comes much more shallow. You sip the air, you barely exhale. So instead of doing that, fully inhale, fully exhale, and you will trick your brain into believing that you feel like you're safe. And if you keep telling your brain that you're safe, your brain will believe that you're safe. Whatever you keep on telling it is what it will believe. Okay? So we have got to start getting back in control of our brain. And the easiest way to do that is with our breath. So we do 4-7-8 breathing. Now you can pick whatever kind of breathing technique you want as long as you're doing it 5 times a day at least. If you were doing it on a consistent basis, it's going to bring that anxiety down. It is not going to be above your head to where you can't reach it and you can't manage it. It's going to be slowly sinking, coming down to a manageable level so you can get a hold of it. Okay? We've got to start doing this on a daily basis. Promise me. Put it in the comments. Let me know that you're going to start doing your deep breathing. Okay? All right. So we do 4-7-8. What we do is blow out and try and deflate your lungs completely. Let all of the air out of your lungs. Then you're going to inhale for a count of 4 through your nose if you can. I know people got colds right now, but if you can breathe through your nose, do that. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7. What we're doing then is allowing our body to actually use this oxygen that we breathe in. We exhaled carbon dioxide, made some space. Then we inhaled oxygen. If we blow it right back out, we're not using it. It was totally useless. So what we're doing is inhaling and then holding and letting our body get that oxygen, collect it up, and take it where it needs to go. Then after that, we're going to blow out for a count of 8. Now, we're going to blow like we're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles because we want to exhale and get as much carbon dioxide out of our lungs as possible. When we do that, there's a switch in our brain that regulates or that monitors how much carbon dioxide is in your lungs. And if there's a lot of carbon dioxide built up in your lungs from you hyperventilating, guess what? It thinks that something is wrong with you. Physically, it is a physical switch in your brain. It's like, oh, that's too much carbon dioxide. Something must be wrong. And then it sets off your fight or flight all over again. All right. So we're in a huge loop. We've got to stop that loop from continuously happening. So we've got to do our deep breathing. We're going to do it together 3 times in a row. But if you are doing this at home, I want you to do it 5 times a day. Okay. Remember to do that. All right, we're going to do our deep breathing. Come on and join me. What is going on with the video on Facebook? Oh, it's being difficult. Unable to view or play videos and reels on Facebook. Giving me absolutely nothing. Okay, all right. Don't know why that's happening, but that's all right. It's going to be recording. It's going to be on my Love Coach Dasha page once it comes from Instagram anyway. So it's all good. You can catch it even if you're not able to see it on the Facebook page right now. Okay. Anyway, we're going to do our deep breathing. So what we're going to do is blow out, inhale for 4, hold for 7, blow out for 8. We're going to do that 3 times in a row. Join me. All right. First things first, blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How does it feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Let me know. Put it in the comments. I see that it came back up on Facebook. Hey, y'all. I see you over there. It came up right now. It wasn't showing me anything for a minute. They were like, we can't play this video. I was like, why not? But we're good. We're good now. I can see it everywhere. Lovely. So how does it feel when you're doing your deep breathing? If you are doing your deep breathing, it should change something physically, okay? You should feel a difference somewhere in your body. And that's what we've got to start paying attention to. Because as we are dealing with this trauma, the manifestation of that, the triggered feeling, that comes after we feel something different in our bodies. Our bodies pick it up and feel it faster than our brains can compute it. So if we are doing the deep breathing on a regular basis, keeping the body in check, keeping it calm, preventing it from getting more and more amped up, we're going to have less triggers. We're going to be less angry. We're going to be less hurt. We are going to be consistently telling our bodies that we are safe. There is nothing to be afraid of right here in this moment. It's all right. And even if there is something, I am still in control. I am okay. Even though this is something that hurt me and I'm in pain about it, I am showing you with my breath that I am capable of dealing with this situation, thinking it through, calming myself down, and doing the right things to help myself get through the situation. So you're telling your brain what you need it to know. Your brain is not in charge of you, okay? You can notice the thoughts that are going on in your brain, right? So that means you are not your brain. That means that you are not one and the same. Your brain does not have control over you. You are the thinker. You are not the thoughts. Your brain is a organ, just like every other organ, and it is designed to do a job. All right. But it is the one that we are very closely in contact with, and we can tell it what to do. So we've got to start telling it what to do to be able to handle this type of trigger, to be able to handle this type of trauma. We have to be able to tell our brains exactly what we want them to do and lead them in that direction. Does that make sense? I want you all to know that this is a physical thing we are dealing with. And if it is a physical thing, it's going on inside our brain, that's great because we can do stuff about physical stuff. We can do something about that. We can do something about our brains being out of whack, about them responding badly. We can do something about that. It just takes a little practice. All right. The second thing that I'm always going to tell you whenever we meet up is I need you to be doing your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Y'all that are here on Instagram and Facebook right now, put it in the comments. That's up. Have you been doing your journaling? If you're not, I'm calling you out right now. I need you to jump on that. I need you to be more responsible with that. I need you to take that self-care time and sit down with your feelings and care about what your feelings are. This is a time where you feel like your brain is super sharp, right? You feel like you're remembering everything. You are running on all cylinders. That is not true. Your memory sucks right now. You are not remembering things the way that they happen. You need to be writing stuff down. Okay? If you want to remember anything, you're going to need to be writing things down. I need you to make a practice of every day, first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed, to take about 5 minutes and journal. Okay? I need you to start off with your date, your time, your level of anxiety. Put those three things at the top of the page, smack it there. Okay? Then you're going to write for about 5 minutes. Just pour out the stuff that comes up to the top, the things that surface, the things that pop right into your brain. Write them down, jot them down. You can take shorthand for all I care, as long as you're putting down all those thoughts that just bubble up to the surface, that bubble over. Okay? Write that stuff down. And then at the end of this journaling session, write what your level of anxiety is then. Okay? Your level of anxiety is 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. You are great. All is right with the world. It's a lovely day. Put that down. Make stars. Put gold stars on that corner, the corner of that page. Whatever you can do to put a visual representation of I was at a 0. Everything was right with the world. I was feeling lovely. You need to know that you have those days, okay? You need to know that you do feel like that some of the time, because your brain will try and make it seem like you never feel good ever in life. You just feel terrible all the time since this trauma has happened to you. And that's just not true. But you'll forget if you don't write it down, right? Then there's a 10. A 10 is an absolute loss of control. 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. I am out of control of myself. I am screaming. I am throwing things. The neighbors are probably calling the police. Okay? Yeah, you thinking about hitting them with a car. Okay? There is a point where you have just lost yourself and you can't grab yourself and pull yourself back down. That is a 10. Okay? Chances are you're not actually at that point as often as you think you are, okay? If you're able to sit down with your journal and a pen and write about your level of anxiety, you're not at a 10. That's not out of control. You are in control of yourself. So it's not as often as you probably think it is, but it does happen, and you need to know what it's like, okay? Your date and time are going to tell you when things happen so you can see patterns through your journal. And as you are doing this right now, how your body feels too. Pay attention to your body. All of this is self-care. All of this is paying attention to the trauma that you have and working on healing it. It's the same thing as if you had a big gash across your forehead. You are going to clean that wound. You are going to tend to it. You are going to bandage it. You're going to put Neosporin on it. That's what I'm talking about doing when I'm talking about these things to you. When you're doing your deep breathing, when you're doing your journaling, it is taking care of the wound, self-care, okay? You need to do that if you are ever going to heal from this. You are going to be the main nurse to heal yourself at this point, okay? Then write all that stuff down. If you are feeling like you need to write during the day, feel free, okay? But you can tell your brain that, hey, look, we're going to deal with problems first thing in the morning. So, if there's a problem that you want to bring up with me, if there's something you think that I need to solve, okay, we're going to write it down in the morning. You can tell me all about it, and then you work on it through the day, and you tell me what you came up with for the writing session at the end of the day, okay? You can plan out your freak out. Okay, you can tell your brain, we're not going to freak out until the morning. We're just not going to do it. We need to go to sleep. All right. If you start training your brain to do that, it will work with you. It will do that. But you got to be mindful. You got to be doing this self-care practice. All right, let's see. The third thing that I'm always going to tell you, I need you to practice an attitude of gratitude. Okay. I know that it is hard to feel positive after this type of trauma has happened to you. It is your brain. Your brain says that nothing is well, everything is ill, you are having a hard time, you should be afraid. I get it. I know that's what your brain is saying to you, but it's just railing and lying to you because you've been hurt. It's freaking out and it's giving you a whole bunch of fear to reinforce that, oh no, this was not a safe situation and you might be hurt again. So here, let me talk to you about it. Okay. I get that your brain is doing that to you. However, again, you are the thinker, you are not the thought. So if your brain is doing that and you choose to look for things that you are grateful for instead of the things that it is swearing are so negative, you will teach your brain that you do not want to continue to hear about the negative. You want to hear about the positive. You want your brain to shut up telling you about how scary this is, and you want it to focus on how grateful you are that your car is working, how grateful you are that your bank account is sitting on the other side of negative. All right, you've got to focus your brain on things that you are happy about, the things that you want in your life. The sad thing that people don't understand is what you focus on is what you bring into your life. So if you're consistently sitting here drowning in sorrow and misery and anger about this trauma that has happened to you, you bring more sorrow and misery and trauma into your life. It makes you like a target, all right? So we've got to focus our brain elsewhere. We've got to focus on what we do want to bring into our lives. And if you can just start with gratitude, everything else can follow from there. Happiness, trust, love, all of that can follow from just being able to find the thing to be grateful for. So I usually do Thirsty Thursday. If you got something that you would like to share that is wonderful in your life, I would love for you to share it. And I'm going to share it with everybody else because we need to share good news. We need to get into the practice of sharing good news when it is going on in our lives, the things that we are grateful for. So then we can tell everybody around us that, you know what? This great thing did happen to me. And then you can light that candle. You can light that light for the next person. They may be in the dark. They may not be able to see anything positive. If you tell one person about something that you're really grateful for, it might remind them of something that they're grateful for. And just seeing somebody be in a state of gratitude and being happy about something that's in their life, it inspires your brain to do the same thing. So we've got to show it. We've got to show our brains what we want them to do. And the first thing to do is to show gratitude. So if you got something, put it in the comments. Let me know. Everybody that's over here on Facebook, I see y'all. Hey, go ahead and put in the comments things that you are grateful for this week, and I'll shout you out, okay? All right, last thing that I always tell you all about is I need you, and I'm going to hold your hand while I'm saying this to you, okay? I need you to stop asking all those questions. I know. Every other guru, everybody else out there is saying to you that you need full disclosure. You need every detail you want to hear about this affair, about what he did. I am here to tell you that's not useful. I am here to tell you that response to question, to get all the details, to work all the meat and the gristle off of the bone about this situation, That is a trauma response. That is your brain freaking the hell out saying, this person is a danger. I must find out every single thing I can about this terrible thing that they did so I know that this person is a danger forevermore. That's what your brain is doing when it's demanding all those answers. When it is screaming at you, you got to just ask this question. If you ask this one, then you'll heal. If you ask this question, then you'll be able to let it go. You'll be able to move on. Then your brain is steady lying to you, steady gaslighting you, telling you that that's going to heal you. And it's not. It does not work that way. Dwelling on this trauma, feeding yourself every detail you can about pain and suffering is not healing. That's not what that is. It is dwelling in the pain. It is the actions of hurting. It is not the actions of healing. I understand you want to ask. I know that your brain damn near itches to ask these questions. They pop up on you random times. You're just sitting there watching TV. All of a sudden, a question pops into your brain. Like, yeah, I should ask him that. It is all to keep the wall up. That is what your brain is doing. It wants a division between you and him. He's scary. And the more I find out, the more scary he is. The more scary and the more disgusting. I'm going to tell you about that one too. You will feel like, that's why a lot of women don't want to have sex, because, oh, he's gross, he's disgusting. It gives you the ick, right? That is a trauma response, all right? That is still a trauma response. So we've got to recognize that that is what is happening to us. And we've got to make choices about what we do going forward. You asking them all those questions does not heal you. It does not give you anything solid to stand on. It just gives you lots and lots of ammunition against him as you are trying to heal, as you are trying to reconcile, as you're trying to forgive. So instead of that, okay, instead of doing that to yourself, I want you to just make the choice that when your brain is like, I have to ask a question, you're just not going to ask a question. And not even, how was your day? Not even that, all right? Take whatever question that you want to ask and switch it around and see if you can make it a statement. See if you can actually figure out what the question is actually about. Because your brain will tell you, oh, you just want to know what happened during his day. And that's not what it wants to know. It wants to know, where were you? What time did you go to lunch? Did you talk to anybody? Did you see anybody while you were at work? That is what your brain actually wants to know. But it will disguise that as, oh, how was your day, sweetie? To start off the conversation, to make you start asking questions. And then once he starts asking questions, you're like, oh, he should keep on answering all my questions if he doesn't want me to be mad. Plug in my phone. There we go. All right. So now, if you can do that, that is excellent. Oh, what happened over here? I plug in the phone, the camera goes by. All right. Start the camera. What in the world? Okay. Yeah. You see over there on Facebook. It took it right off. Okay, lost it for a second there. Hopefully, start cam. Start cam. All right. Of course, when I'm there in the middle of saying something, it's gonna act up. Hmm. Okay. All right. Screw it. We'll do them down. All right. Anyway, everybody can see me over here. You can see me. It's trying to come back. Let me refresh. I don't know what the heck. All right. We'll keep on. All right. So if you have been asking all these questions and your brain has just been itching, it's been just lying to you, telling you that you need to ask all these questions, you need to find out the answers to these questions, let me give you something better to do. Okay. This is It's the Healing Edition, THEAND. Find it on Amazon. Okay, it's about $30 and it's 199 cards. You only need 2 to 3 of these cards, a couple of these questions that you do not need to sit here and try and ask every single solitary question in the deck. To be able to have a little bit of understanding, a little bit of compassion, a little bit of connection. You will not have to ask a whole bunch of these questions. Try a couple, okay? All right, so I'll give you a couple of these. One is, what's one experience you think I need to have and why? Ooh, that's an interesting thing to find out. What's one experience you think I need to have and why? That's a good one. I like that. All right. Next one says, in what ways do you think I see life differently than you do? Oh, that's a deep question right there. Look at that. That's an hour. That's a whole lot of conversation right there. What ways do you think I see life differently than you do? That's a lot of discussion that the two of you can have if you sit down and work with it, okay? And one more. Who has more power in our relationship and how do you feel about it? Ooh, wouldn't you like to know what he thinks about that? What if he thinks you got more power in a relationship? Would you believe that if he told you that he thinks that you have more power? If you said that you think he has more power, you think you believe that? Good question. All right. These are better than the questions that are floating around in your brain. The ones that are floating around in your brain are all based in trauma. They are all based in you questioning the perp. All right. He is the one. He did this. He is awful. We have got to make sure that he is never awful to us again. And the more you do that, the more your brain associates him with he's only painful. It's only pain that has ever come from this person, even though you really do love them. You've had a lot of good with them, enough good to make you want to even try and forgive them. So it will make you forget about all that, consistently asking about things that will hurt you. Okay? So you gotta stop asking all those questions. Promise me, try it this week. If you have never tried it before, I want you to really be mindful about it this week. Try it out. No questions whatsoever. Make whatever question that you are about to ask into a statement and see what you're really trying to ask. All right. Make that a statement and see if the statement comes across as accusatory. If it comes across as, oh, I don't trust you, check it. And then you can decide if that's a good question to ask or not. But just try to resist the urge to ask any question at all week long. It will change the way your brain is wired. If you stop just going along with the loop of asking a question, because that's what it is. It's a loop inside your brain. It's like, oh, I got to ask a question. Ask the question. Okay, wait, I got to ask another question. Ask the question. Loop it around again. I got to ask another question. It gets exhausting. It will continue on as long as you feed into it. So if you deny that connection, if you deny that loop from happening, you are teaching your brain that you want it to go a different way. You do not want to keep on getting stuck in asking these questions. You want to have other conversation. You want to find closeness in other ways. Okay? Does that all make sense? You all let me know. I see everybody joining me on Facebook. I see all y'all. Hey, give me some likes. Give me some love. Let me know what's here. If you're not going to make any comments, and again, if you got anything positive, things that you're grateful about, put it in the comments. All right, so that's the basics. That is the stuff that I always start with you because these are the things that I say every single flipping day, people. I say this stuff every day. To every client that I have, I'm constantly telling them to do their deep breathing and do their journaling. And I give them assignments and everything. People just want to skip over these very basic things. But these very basic things are the things that are powerful in helping you. They are powerful in getting you to healed. They are actions of healing instead of you constantly doing actions of hurting. So we've got to start doing those healing actions consistently, it starts to change the way that your brain is working after this trauma. Okay? I swear it works. Gotta try it out. Gotta work it. All right. Hey, Charmaine, I see you, girl. Hey. All right. Then I got questions. You all got questions? Let me know. Put them in the comments. Let me know what it is that you would like me to talk to you about as far as this healing and reconciling goes, as far as getting past this infidelity to a better place in your relationship to get to your happy ending. All right. I want to teach you everything I know about getting to your happy ending. If you got questions, I got answers. But again, do not forget to come on and message me about getting into my After Infidelity Mastermind group. It is 12 weeks of group coaching, and also you get text support too. My text support program is where you can just text me any old time, and I'll respond to you if you got questions, if you got issues. I will help you in the moment. So you not only have the solid foundation of every single week, you know you're going to have a meeting. You know you're going to have something taught to you about this healing, and you're going to be able to ask whatever questions that you need to each week. But in between, you can text me. In between, you can text me and let me know. I think this is the last time I'm going to include the text support in it, though. I think this is the last time because I've done this group a few times now. I think we're at the point now where I'm just going to make it weekly meetings. But right now, you can get in on like the last time that I'm going to add in tech support with it. So you're going to have basically 2 of my programs going on at the same time for $250 a month. It's not a bad deal. I paid more going to therapy. I know my copays, the last time I was going to therapy, were $125 every time I went. So like going 4 times a month, you're paying double what you're paying just to get into my After Infidelity Mastermind and have the support of other women who have been through this and have the support of me who has been through this. You are not alone. You are not dealing with somebody who is not versed in this, who can't tell you exactly what to do. You are talking to somebody who knows exactly how to get exactly where you want to go. You do not want to be in this hole with your honey anymore. You don't want to be mad anymore. You don't want to be sad anymore. You want him to stop doing stupid shit. Okay? I am here to teach you exactly how to start the healing process so both of you can get healed and we can all stop doing stupid things together. We can all get to a better place, more solid ground as a couple and move forward. Get to your next story. You can get a happy ending for this story, but then there's another story right behind that one. I want you to get to the next story. All right. Can we get this one out of the way? Yes, this was a horrible one. It was a terrible plot twist that happened that he cheated. Okay, yes. But once this story is over, there are more stories to come. You have a lifetime of them waiting on you. We got to get past this one negative one. We got to get past this one to get to the next one. Okay? So join me for my After Infidelity Mastermind. Send me a message if you're interested. All right. Dude, got questions? Jacina's got questions for me. Charmane's got questions for me. All right. I'll start with Jacina because she put it up here earlier. All right. This is what she said. She said, I'm trying. Yes, you are. All right. You're doing good. I'm going to pat you on the back just because you are trying. All right. It says, I've been with my fiance for 15 years. You put fiance in quotations. Is he your fiance or not? You don't think he is? Are you trying to say that, I don't even know if I really want him to be? Or are you saying that you don't think he's going to marry you? Like, what was the quotation marks for that? I'm curious. All right. Next thing said, and it's been on and off infidelity on his part. I stayed. I was young. Now I'm 37 with 2 kids with him, and I'm angry. I feel like my mind hates him, even to the point I started cheating off and on over the years. He caught me last year, and we decided to go to couples therapy. We are supposed to get married 2020, but COVID hit, and I got pregnant. But he cheated literally months after he proposed. Non-sexual, but I feel that's worse. I don't know. I want to leave him, but can he change? Shit, can I change? I'm the type of person that if I don't trust you, I will never trust you. I'm a cheat too. My question is, do you think couples therapy will work? He's an excellent father and provider, and he's so good to me, but his wandering eyes is a no-go for me. And certain things I've let go of because I was cheated. Like him messaging sex once on FB, and he was dealing with a woman last year saying they never had sex, but I don't believe it at all. All right. Lot to unpack there. We're going to talk it all out. Okay. All right. First thing. All right. Let me just say this to you. Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try. You say that you're trying. If you are doing, then you are doing. Give yourself credit for doing. And if you are not doing, if you are not doing your best, if you're not doing the healing things that you could be doing, acknowledge that and then align yourself with the right path. Trying is, I think people always say trying when they're like, oh, yeah, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. If you are doing, then it's much more clear than in saying that, well, I am not doing. That is a very clear line, and you will know, okay, you know if you are doing your best moving forward or you're not doing your best. So that's the first thing. Second thing, you've been with this man for 15 years. You're saying that it was on and off infidelity and you stayed and you say I was young. But you've been with him for 15 years. You haven't been young the whole time. Okay? You continue to choose this person. And it seems like that wasn't a bad idea. You're saying that he's a good father, he's an excellent father and provider, and he's good to you. Okay? But he got some wandering eyes. He got some bad habits that you're not thrilled about. So you are making a choice all these times. Don't blame it on, oh, I was young. Oh, we have kids. If you just loved him like that, you just loved him like that. We got to come to terms with that. I feel like a lot of us are made to feel like we're being weak if we admit that I'm hopelessly in love with him. He pisses me off. I wish he wouldn't do this one thing, but oh my God, I really do love him, and I really do think that he is a good partner for me in every other way. If you got like 85, 90% of everything you want, and this just the fact that his eyes wander a little bit is that 10% that you don't quite have, it makes sense not to throw away the whole thing just because you don't have a small portion of what you want. I don't think that that was just a young mistake or anything. I think that you chose him. You knew who you wanted to be with, you loved him, and you chose him. If you can come at it from that perspective, instead of, oh, I just stayed and I was young and he took advantage of me. If you can come at it from the idea of, I chose my entire life with him. I stayed for 15 years. I had 2 babies with him. I love him. I wanted my life to be built with him. Coming to terms with that lets you let go a lot of the anger. It really does. If you can just admit to yourself that, yes, if they want to call you a fool for love, let them do it. Okay? Because if you felt like that about this person and you were willing to overlook some of their flaws for all of who they actually are, that's some real love. Okay? That is, you really truly feel like this is the person that you are wanting to build your life with. And there's nothing wrong with that. Coming to terms with that, accepting that about yourself is a way to let go a lot of that anger. A lot of the time, that's what it is. It's so unfair and I got taken advantage of and I should still be angry. You still made the choice. You made the choice for 15 years. It was 15 years of choices. Hey, the bad girls. I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl, how you doing? Hope you're well. But you did choose him, all right? So then instead of just moving past it, you went ahead and cheated on him. I understand the pull. I understand the inclination to feel like, well, you cheated on me, so I'm going to cheat on you. However, that throws you off your argument because now you can't even go to him and say, oh, cheating is wrong. You're doing wrong because you're doing it too. You're showing that in some circumstances, when you feel like it, it's fine to cheat. It's okay. It's all right. There is nothing wrong with it because you're choosing to do it. So you're making that example. You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot with this whole situation. You're letting him know that his excuses for cheating, those aren't acceptable, but your excuses for cheating, oh, those are fine. And that's like because it was about him, because he was the one that did wrong, so you get to do wrong too. Wrong is wrong. Okay? So you weaken your own argument to go back and cheat. I don't think that you should do it. If you really feel like cheating is wrong, if you feel like it's such a horrible thing, there is no need for you to go ahead and do it. So put a halt to that first, all right? I understand that you're saying, oh, if I don't trust you, then I'm just not going to trust you. I'm going to cheat. But if you're going to be like that, then you can just be single. There's no reason for you to even be in this relationship. You want to be in the relationship with this person, and you don't want other people in the relationship. You have to behave in alignment with that instead of behaving in alignment with I'm gonna sleep with who I want to, and you can sleep with who you want to. Actions speak louder than words. So if you are consistently showing that, look, I am trying to just work things out. I want us to be happy and in love and together, and you are consistently doing the actions of that, then that is what you're showing him. It is not telling him. It is presenting it to him as this is what the standard is. This is what I'm doing. This is what I expect you to do. All right. Let's see. You were gonna get married. Now you knew he was cheating already, but you still had every plan to go ahead and get married, and you had another baby, and you're like, oh, he cheated after he proposed. That in and of itself is not a strange thing that happens. People, when they are going through life changes, tend to do stupid stuff. So if that type of life change, considering, okay, we're about to get married, we're gonna have a baby. If you have bad coping skills, you use the coping skills that you have, and the coping skill he had was going to somebody else and confiding in somebody else, talking to somebody else, and being inappropriate in ways that you don't like. And that's a bad coping skill, but it is an understandable thing. It's something that happens to a ton of people every single day. You said it was non-sexual, but you think that's worse. He probably doesn't. He probably would think that it was less than actual cheating, but I get it, what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. You're saying that you want to leave him, but you don't. That's actually not true. You wanted to leave him, you leave him. If you didn't want to leave him, you'd have left him 5 years ago. You'd have left him 10 years ago if you wanted to leave him. If that's not actually what you want, you got to stop yourself from saying that and really align yourself with, okay, I am not acting like I want to leave him. If you wanted to leave, you could find a way. We are all very, very ingenuitive, brilliant females. We could find a way out if we choose to find a way out. But you're choosing not to. So coming to terms with that is how you deal with a lot of anger too. I am not leaving. I do not want to leave. I am choosing to stay. I want to stay. This person loves me. He is an excellent father. He's an excellent provider. He's good to me. There are lots of positive reasons why I should stay, why I should work this out. And I am choosing that. I am believing in myself. I am believing in my own choices. I think I know the best thing for myself. And what I'm currently doing is I'm staying and I'm trying to work this out. I want to change and I want him to change. That's a great thing. People change every day. People change all the time. If you're worried about that, you don't have to worry about that. That is the single most prevalent thing that happens with human beings is we change. Okay? It is guaranteed. If you start to change, you're going to change the things around you too. It is guaranteed. It cannot be any other way. If you are changing the things that you are doing, you are changing your stimulus into the world. And then the responses that you get back will be different because you are being different. That's just how that works. So if you start to work on your actual healing, if you start to get down to it, if you start to forgive yourself for just loving him and choosing to be with him anyway, if you give yourself a break for that, if you go ahead and believe in your ability to judge whether somebody's a good person for you or not, and start to behave in that way, get your happiness back, get your joy back, get the light shining from you again, you're going to transform the way that he sees you and the way that he interacts with you. You got to take the healing though. You got to take the healing into your own hands. All right. And again, After Infidelity Mastermind, you're in a perfect place to come join the group, get this 12 weeks of support, and figure your way out of the woods. I don't want you to be stuck like this anymore. It's unnecessary. You do not have to keep hurting. You do not have to keep on being on the fence, worrying about whether you should stay or whether you shouldn't stay. You are staying. You have been staying. There is no evidence that you have ever tried to leave. You have made a choice, and if you admit to that choice and you go ahead and back up your own choice with your own actions, you're going to feel great, and he's going to start responding to it. Okay? Come on, join After Infidelity Mastermind, Justina. I'm trying to tell you, it's exactly what you're needing right now. It is exactly what you are needing right this minute. You need somebody to support you in making the healing decisions. Right now, when you're able to just do what you want to do, you don't have any accountability, it's real easy to backslide. It's real easy to go off and cheat. It's real easy to be like, well, I don't trust you and I'm just never going to trust you. If I can show you the way, if I can be telling you how to trust again, if I can be telling you how you're going to let those walls down again, if I can discourage you from cheating, all right, if I can do those things for you on a week-to-week basis, you're going to heal a lot faster, and that relationship is going to heal a lot faster too. Let me know if y'all got any questions about that. All right, Charlene. Hey, girl. All right, so let's see. Charlene, you said, I told you you'd be still together. I thought we not broke up no more. Okay, see, this is what I'm saying. You know you love him. Stop acting like you're gonna leave him. Okay, stop it. Cut it out. I know a lot of women will tell you, and let me tell you this. I know a lot of women will sit here and tell you, girl, you should kick him to the curb. I don't know why you're still with him. You need to let him go. Okay, I ain't one of those. Okay. I know damn well if you were talking to me about him, you love him. All right. Just admit you love him. Just go ahead and accept that your heart is on the line here because you really love this person, this flawed individual. It is fine for you to love them. It is fine for you to want to open your heart to them. It is fine to want to forgive them. You are not doing anything wrong choosing that for yourself. Just because other women will tell you out of fear that you shouldn't do it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. You just gotta believe in yourself, okay? I need y'all to start believing in yourselves. All right, but anyway, Charmaine, you said I recently discovered that he's always cheating. His cheating got way worse, not a slip up here and there anymore. Emotionally, physically, or both. Every single opportunity he gets. How do I deal with this? It just feels so wrong and unfair. He's even with a transgender in January, which he promised me just a few weeks before he wouldn't, and his answer to that is only fools don't change their mind. Makes me so angry. Oh boy. Okay. Well, we know part of this is mental illness. Now, whether that is for everybody else, if you are dealing with this same type of situation that she's dealing with, and this sounds a little familiar to you, honestly, a lot of depression, men will go seek adventurous, different sex, trying to make themselves feel better. And a lot of the time, that'll be depression. A lot of the time, that's what it'll be. You may not know that it's depression because they're not sad. They are destructive. They'll go to work. They seem like they're just dragging themselves to do everything every day. You can barely get them to have any fun with you, do anything with you, because all they want to do is just go to work and come home, and they'll play the game for a while, and they'll crash and go to sleep. They don't want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with kids. That is actually like lots of the signs and symptoms of depression in men. So honestly, I think that's where we're starting from with this. But you said he's always cheating. If you are always cheating, there is something seriously wrong. There is something that is sad. There is something that you are trying to cope with, that you are using terrible coping skills to cope with. If this is a constant thing, if he can't just settle down and be still and not be running around trying to get with every woman in town, that is something wrong. That is something wrong with him. You have to understand that if this is what you are dealing with, It's bigger than just, oh, he's a cheater. It is, he is ill. There's something wrong. There is something going on in his brain that is not allowing him to see that these are the actions of a crazy person. This is not positive. It's not a good thing to do. This is not a productive way to go about handling a relationship. It's just not. All right. I understand if you are in love with him and you want to continue to be with him, I recommend the 180. The 180 is excellent for getting their attention back around to you, stopping them in the tracks of this, oh, I gotta screw everything that moves, or I'm so obsessed with one particular person. The 180 works. Okay, it just does. It is excellent for trying to get that attention back around to you. The 180 is by an author named Michelle Weiner Davis, and I think it was in the book Divorce Busting. She's got a couple of books, but I think that's where it was at. And this technique is all about focusing on yourself. It's about taking all of that attention that you are feeding him, because that's your part of this cycle. You got to recognize the cycle that's going on. He is doing wild shit, and you are consistently paying attention to him. Okay? So you're feeding into it with him. You're feeding into his negative behavior with your own obsessive behavior, because that's what we get when we are dealing with this trauma, trying to get past it, focused on what he's doing. We're hyper vigilant and we get obsessed about what is going on with that. Breaking that obsession breaks your part of the cycle. Okay? Now, two things will happen if you do the 180. If you do the 180 and you really focus on yourself, and you start feeling really good and strong about yourself, and you decide, you know what, I don't need this type of relationship anymore. I don't feel like I have to solve your problems. I don't feel like I have to work with you through them. I'm going to move on and continue on with taking care of myself and go find myself somebody else. That could happen, okay? The other thing that could happen is you get his attention. He recognizes, he sees you going out and you are radiant. You are doing your own thing. You are getting your own activities. You are having a good life. You are smiling more. You're not paying any attention to that bullshit he's doing, okay? When you start doing that consistently, he'll believe that he lost you. He'll believe that, oh, it's just over. She doesn't love me anymore. She's never going to want to be with me. And then all of his attention will be on, how do I fix that? How do I get that better? How do I make her want to pay attention to me again? Very, very simple technique. One of the two will happen if you do it. So I always recommend it. More than likely, he's going to come around. That's what happens with them all the time. They see you living your best life, out here not paying them any attention, not looking in their phone, not giving a kitty about who they are talking to, who they are trying to have sex with, doing your own thing, being your happiest self. When you start doing that, get their attention right back. They cannot focus on the madness that they are doing when you are over here looking all radiant and happy and joyful and out here chilling. All right. There are, I think the 180 should be in the pin post at the top of the Love After Cheating group. Yes, it is. All right, there's one right there. And like it starts with, do not pursue, reason, chase, beg, plead, implore. Stop that shit, okay? Cut it out. Stop begging him, stop asking him, stop talking to him, stop trying to get his attention. All of that. Cut it out, okay? No frequent phone calls. Don't be calling him, checking to see what he's doing, where you at, who you talking to. No, we're not going to be making those extra calls. Do not point out the good points in the relationship. Don't be doing that. Don't be like, oh, but we have such good times together, and you shouldn't do this to me. Nope. We're not gonna beg. We're not gonna beg. Don't follow them around the house. Don't encourage any talk about the future. Act like I am living in the now. I don't care about the future right now. I am not interested in talking to you about that. he will notice that. He will notice that very, very quickly, that you are not doing any future speech. You're not making any plans. You're not talking about the two of you all being together. It gets attention real quick. Right? What else? Don't ask for help from family members. That in general. If you are trying to get past infidelity, do not ask for help from family members. It's the worst possible thing you can do. It will always lead you down a bad road, I promise. Okay? They are fearful if they're on your side. They are fearful for you, and they will tell you things to be afraid of. If they're on his side, they're going to be on his side. So ain't no need for us to even get them involved and try and work things out through family members. They don't have enough clout. They don't have enough education and experience to be able to help you with this. All right. What else? Don't ask for reassurances. You've been asking for a lot of reassurances. You've been saying, well, you tell me that you're not going to do this. No, we're not. I'm not going to ask you for anything. Don't buy them gifts. Don't schedule dates. Don't spy on them. Have absolutely no idea what's going on with them. Have absolutely no clue what is happening with them, because you are not paying attention. You are not in their phone. You're not checking up on them. You're not trying to figure out what they're doing. It says don't say I love you. I do not follow that one. I feel like if you love somebody, no matter who it is, you should say that you love whoever you love. You never know what your last day is going to be. You never know what moment will be the moment where you can't take that back. So I feel like if you do love somebody, say you love them. Okay. Let's see. Act as if you're moving on with your life. Don't act like it. Do it. Get into your life. Pay attention to what's going on with you. Have fun. Do things that you enjoy doing. Okay. Be cheerful, strong, outgoing, and attractive. Dress yourself up. Be going out. Be happy when you're going out. Don't look at him and be like, oh, do you want to come? Nope. Because I got stuff that I'm doing, and I'm looking good doing it, and I'm chilling, and I'll be back. I'll see you a little later. Okay? Let's see what else. Don't sit around waiting on your spouse. Get busy. Do things. Go to church with friends, etc. Whatever it is. Get a life. Get a life outside of this trauma. I understand that you are very wrapped up in what he is doing right now. He is cheating. He is doing bad. However, that doesn't mean you got to be focused all on the bad. That is not necessary. That is not going to get you anywhere being all focused on him. Now he's got two women obsessing over him. Now he's got the woman that he is using and his woman at home, all eyes on him. Oh, let's not. Okay. Let's see. When home with your spouse, if you usually start the conversation, be scarce so short on words. You don't have to start a conversation just because you're sitting there. If you have something to say it. If there is something in particular, like the bills or, you know what I'm saying, something that's going on in the house, don't talk about a whole bunch of emotional stuff. Don't bring up topics like that. You don't need to try and make him talk about it. If he ain't going to talk about it with you, okay, I'm not going to talk about it with you either. Talk about what needs to be talked about and let it go. If you are in the habit of asking your spouse their whereabouts, ask nothing. You see, I already said that. Stop asking all those questions, okay? If you get into the habit of not asking a question where there's usually a question, every time he talks to you, he knows if there is a question coming and there is no question there, he is going to wonder what's going on. It is going to be like it'll twist in his brain for a little while. And then he's going to realize what it is that you're doing, that you're not asking the question. He is anticipating the question because you always ask the question. And now all of a sudden you're not asking the question. Now he's on shaky ground. He has no idea what's going on because you're acting differently. Because when you change the things around you. Okay. Let's see. You need to make your partner think that you have had an awakening. And as far as you're concerned, you're going to move on with your life, with or without them. All right. And you are, okay? That is what the whole thing about healing is. You are moving on with your life. We are not going to stay stuck in this pain. We are not going to stay stuck in his wrongdoing forever. Why should you have to suffer like that? Why should you have to stay stuck in that? You didn't do it. You're going to move on with your life, okay? So don't be nasty, angry, or even cold. Just pull yourself back. Don't always be so available for anything. Your spouse will notice. More important, they'll notice that you're missing. Like, they're used to you being right there. They're used to you obsessing and being in their face. And all of a sudden, you're not there. You created a space. You were trying to close the space. You're trying to get closer, 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 and close the space. And they're backing up the whole time, not letting you close the space. If you back the hell up, you create that space. Now they have to cross the space. You shouldn't have to go cross the space. Make them come to you. Back up and make them come to you. Do not sit there and be in their face. If they're all in somebody else's face, back up. See how long it takes you to recognize that I'm not right beside you anymore, that I'm not right in your face, that I'm not always trying to be with you, to try and work things out with you, to try and fix things. I'm just going on and being happy myself. All right? Let's see. No matter what you're feeling today, only show your spouse happiness and contentment. Show them someone that they would want to be around. Because that's how they fell in love with you in the first place. They liked who you were in the beginning when you were happy. So if you show that person again, they'll be attracted to that person again. They were already attracted to them once. So if you show that person again, he'll come around again. Let's see. All questions about the relationship should be put on hold until they want to talk about it, which may be a while. That's fine. Take your time. Go do all the self-care you need to do. Have fun with it. All right? Until they're ready to talk about it, you take care of yourself. Never lose your control. Do not allow yourself to lose your temper. No yelling, screaming, or name calling ever. No show of temper. Be cool. Act cool. Be in control. The only thing that you can control yourself. That's a rule for life. Stop trying to be in control of shit you're not in control of. Be in control of you. If you can be in control of you, you're a master of the universe. That is the mastery level of gods. If you can master yourself, okay, do that. Work on that, and then see what happens with him. See what that change in you does to the relationship. Let's see. Don't be overly enthusiastic. Don't argue with them about how they feel. It only makes their feelings stronger. If you sit there and try and argue with them about how they're feeling and tell them that their feelings are wrong, that has never worked in the history of people. Every time, like, it works the same way with teenagers. If you tell a teenager how they feel about somebody, they will try anything to be with that person. Okay, same exact thing. We all do it. We're all people. It is a common thread amongst us. If you argue with us about our feelings, those feelings get stronger. So don't argue about anything at all. If you stop arguing, if you stop talking about any of these women that he's talking to, if you stop talking about his behavior at all, he's going to notice that way faster than he notices that you keep arguing. Okay? Be patient, because this takes a minute, because you have to show it. You are not just trying to gaslight him into believing it in a couple of days. You got to be consistent with this. Take a month. Okay? Take some time with it. That's why I said be patient. Take your time with this. Show that you are not going back. You are going forward. You are worried about yourself. And if he wants to be along for the ride, he better come on, because you moving. Okay? Listen carefully to what they're saying, they're really saying to you, and learn to not only listen carefully to what they're saying, hear what it is that they're saying. Listen and then listen some more. It is super important when you start actually listening to what they say. They'll tell you all about what's going on in their brain. They really will. But if you are not listening because you're so angry, you won't hear it, you won't understand it, and then you won't know what's going on with them. You can't show them any compassion. You'll just feel bad. Okay? What else? What else? A little over. I'll try to rush through the rest of this. Learn to back off, shut up, and possibly walk away when you want to speak out, no matter the provocation. No one ever got themselves into trouble by not saying anything. Okay? And just learn to shut up sometimes. I swear it's a skill worth learning. I know we're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to tell women to shut up. Okay? Sometimes you need to. Sometimes if you just pull back just a little bit, hush that mouth a little bit, you'll get further than you were going to get if you went ahead and said what you wanted to say. Okay? I'm a Gemini. I know that for sure to be true. I promise you, if you ask my husband right now, he will tell you that, yes, I will run my mouth too much sometimes. It is a good skill to learn to stop talking. Okay. Be strong and confident and learn to speak softly. So we're not yelling. He has to lean into you to hear what you're saying because you're speaking softly. Know that if you do the 180, your smallest consistent in all caps, actions will be noticed much more than any words that you can say or write. You want to say a whole bunch of stuff. You want him to hear your feelings, hear your words, and respond to your words. That's not the way they communicate. Men communicate with action. If you are doing these actions, you are clearly communicating something to him that he's not going to want to hear. He's going to want to start paying attention to you more because he doesn't want you to slip away from him. Okay? Do not be openly desperate or needy, even when you're hurting more than ever and are feeling desperate and needy. Okay? Your body and your brain are going to be screaming to go to him and talk to me and make me feel better and validate my feelings and tell me I'm right. Don't do that. Don't fall for it, okay? If you keep doing that to yourself and doing it to him, it makes you look like you don't believe in your position. You don't believe that you're strong enough. You don't believe that you're good enough. You're going begging. No. 31 is do not focus on yourself when communicating with your spouse. It isn't always about you. More to the point, at present, they just don't care. If they are all in their minds and all running around in the streets, they don't care about what's going on, what you're talking about with your feelings and whatnot. That's why I said, listen. Try not to talk so much. Try and hear, try to understand instead of trying to be understood. It will work out so much better for you because you are the more complex being. Your brain is more complex. You can understand better than he can. So if one person is going to understand the other person, it would have to be you understanding him. He is way simpler in the brain than you are. You are a much more complex being. So it just makes sense that we would be the ones to understand the point. All right. Let's see. Don't believe any of what you hear them say. Stop listening to any of that. And that madness that he said, Charmaine, and about somebody changing their minds. Don't listen to that stupidity. Don't do that. And then less than 50% of what you see them do. Okay. They're going to speak in absolute negatives and do so in the most strident tones possible. Try to remember that they're also hurting and afraid. Try to remember that they know that what they're doing is wrong. And so they'll say anything they can to justify their behavior. That's what happens with cheating back. You feel like, oh, well, I'm justified in trying to hurt you this way too. No, you're not. You're not actually. I understand that you feel bad, but that doesn't justify you doing the wrong thing. Okay? Do not give up, no matter how dark it is or how bad you feel. That is true. If you just push through this, if you just try and keep these things in mind every day, do them as much as you possibly can, it will pay off. Even when it's dark days and you feel like this is not working, he's not paying me any mind, it's gonna work, and it's gonna work sooner than you think it is. Don't backslide from your hard-earned changes. Remain consistent. It is the consistency of action and attitude that delivers the message. That's what you're doing. You're delivering a message. This is communication, but you are using communication that says, I am not going to sit here and be obsessing about you. I'm going to be worried about me. Since you're not that concerned about me, I'm going to go ahead and be concerned about me. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to focus on me until you can get yourself together so you can focus on me. Okay? Do not backslide for her. Oh, yeah. Let's see. When expressing your dissatisfaction with the actions of the wayward party, never be judgmental, critical, or express moral outrage. Always explain that your dissatisfaction is due to the pain that the acts being committed are causing you as a person. Now, that's if you're talking about it. If he has brought it up and he wants to talk about a relationship, then he's really trying to hear you out about it. Okay, then you can talk about that. But otherwise, don't even bother. This is the kind of behavior that will cause you to be much more attractive and a mysterious individual. Further, it shows that you are not afraid to move on with your life. Still more important, it will burst their positive little bubble, the one in which they believe that they can always come back to you in case things don't work out with the affair partner or partners. universe. Okay. So that's the 180. Apply it. Put it in your life. Okay. Go ahead and work this out. I promise you it is very effective. It immediately gets attention. He cannot help but start to pay attention because he's like, wait a minute, things are different over here. What is happening? It's quieter. She's not even saying the things. She's not doing all the things that she used to do. What's happening here? He will start to recognize it, and he'll start to recognize it a lot faster. When you are running off at the mouth and constantly yelling at him and constantly telling him how disappointing he is and how much he's hurting you, he starts to tune you out. If you decide that you're going to be happy anyway and just keep on going about your life just as happy as a clam, he is going to keep on looking over his shoulder like, what is she doing? Why is she so happy? What's happening over here? I want to be happy too. I want to be with her. Look at how beautiful she is when she's all happy and joyful. He'll be all focused on you. Can't even stop paying attention to you. It's the funny thing. When you take your attention off of men, that's when they want all your attention. If I am sitting, I got this office, I'm sitting here at work, but some of the time I just sit on the bed and edit videos or whatever. And I'm sitting there and Lord knows he wants all my attention if he sees me working on the computer. If I am focused, if I am in it, he gonna want all my attention then. He gonna want me to stop whatever I'm doing and come play with him. So it's the same way. This is exactly what she's describing in the 180. If you go ahead and you start playing happily by yourself, he's going to be like, well, why are you not playing with me? Come play with me too. All right? That makes sense? Oh, it's a little difficult to do the 180. It's kind of scary, but when you commit to it and you go for it, it creates a whole bunch of changes real fast. All right? Real fast. All right. Let's see. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? I have gone well over an hour, but yeah, I always got to finish what I'm talking about, explain things to you. Let me know if you got any other questions and whatnot in the comments. If you're here on the replay, hashtag replay, put your questions in the comments. I will answer them next week, okay? All right, let's see. Last thing that we're always going to talk about every time we get together, I need you to be doing your affirmations. Have you been doing your affirmations on a regular basis? If you have not, I need you to get on that, okay? Remember I said your brain is thinking that everything is negative? Everything includes you, okay? If you are consistently letting your brain tell you awful things about yourself, you're going to start believing them, all right? They are not true, but you're going to start believing them because they're unchecked thoughts. They keep running through your brain. If you are doing an affirmation, if you're picking an affirmation every single solitary day, say it to yourself, look yourself in the eye, and your camera, whatever, and say the affirmation like you mean it with all your heart. Like this is your best friend you're talking to, and you want them to believe this wonderful thing about themselves. If you do that consistently, you've got a tape playing in your brain that says, no, I'm not awful. I am wonderful. I am beautiful. I am feminine. I am lovely. I am sexy. No, I'm not all of that. Hey, Keisha. I see you over there on YouTube. Hey, girl. You've been doing your affirmations? Do your affirmations now. So if you do your affirmations consistently, every day you are looking yourself in the eye and telling yourself how wonderful you are, that is the message that your brain will pick up on, and it will stop trying to make you feel like you're just a god-awful person for wanting to forgive and wanting to love and wanting to open your heart up again. You don't have to live like that. You don't. So you're going to do your affirmations. Now, I got this deck from Five Below. You can get any of these from Etsy, Amazon, wherever you want to get it from, okay? And you pick yourself an affirmation every day. If you don't like the one that you get, pick another one. Feel free. You have been good. I'm glad you're doing your affirmations. It's so calming. It's peaceful to your brain. And it lets you know how wonderful you are. And you are wonderful. Like, you're not lying. You're not gaslighting yourself. You are wonderful. So do it consistently. It gets into your brain, and your brain stops trying to make everything crash and burn, trying to make everything so terrible all the time. All right. So this one today says, today I feel worthy. Today I will accept all the wonderful things in this life. Because you are worthy. You are worthy of all the good things. You are worthy of a happy, healthy relationship. You are worthy of getting the help you need with this After Infidelity Mastermind. You are worthy of spending $250 a month on yourself to be able to get out of this pain and get to a better place and have the relationship that you want. You are worthy of that. You are worthy of everything that you can possibly do to be in alignment with the life that you want. All right. You're worthy of every bit of it. So I need you to start acting like it. I need you to do that. I need you to consistently be reminding yourself. Okay. You're so welcome, Charmaine. I got you, girl. He said no frequent phone calls. What if he calls from work many times? Oh, you don't make calls to him. Like he can call you all he wants to, and he should, and he should. He can call you day and night. He can call you the whole time he's at his shift. Feel free. However, you don't call him. Okay. And then scarce on words to keep asking me what's wrong when I do this. You just okay. First of all, if you're going out and you're having fun, then he won't be able to notice it so much. You're just sitting in his face, not saying anything. And so now it's harder like that, right? So you gotta go ahead and decide to be scarce on the words. And if you're scarce on words when you're in the same room with him, you tell him, I'm just working on my peaceful silence. I am just working on not saying all the words that come into my head. I am working on being peaceful and chilling in the same space as you. Is that all right? Do you want me to keep on talking to you? I don't have a problem right now. There is no problem that I want to talk to you about right this minute. I am just being still and being silent and being in control of myself. That's what I'm doing. And tell him that. And let him know ahead of time that you're going to be practicing that. Let him know ahead of time, like, hey, look, I am going to be practicing not talking as much. I'm going to be practicing not being mad. Not just, oh, I'm mad and I'm giving you the silent treatment. Because learning to embrace silence is a good thing. All right. It is a very, very powerful thing that you can do that's going to change the dynamics in your relationship. You see that it changes stuff when you do it already. So if you let him know ahead of time, hey, look, I am going to be working on my peaceful silence. I am not angry. I am not thinking about things that I need to talk to you about. I am not sitting over here tense and gritting my teeth. I am doing my deep breathing. I'm doing a little meditation. I am focusing inward, and I am not talking. That's what I'm doing. I am working on that. And tell him ahead of time so he will expect that for you to be a little bit quieter and get him used to that. Get him used to the idea that sometimes you're going to be quiet. You're not going to sit there and try and entertain him. You're not going to sit here and try and have words for him every 2 seconds. You don't need to do that. You don't need to entertain him every minute of the day. You don't need to have all that interaction with him. Just sitting quietly in a room together is a very intimate thing to do if you're able to do it. So just do it. All right? All right. Practice that, Charmaine. It's good stuff. I'm trying to tell you, the 180 works real well. It gets attention very fast. All right. Okay. So, yeah, today I feel worthy. Today I will accept all of the wonderful things in this life. You deserve them. Okay? You deserve them. Take them in as your due and continue to take care of yourself, too. You're worthy of self-care. You are worthy of all the things that I talked about in this live. You are worthy of doing your deep breathing and being able to calm yourself down and regulate your own emotions and your own body chemicals. You are worthy of having a little time to write in your journal and think about your own thoughts and feel your own feelings. You have every bit of worth to be grateful. You're worthy of paying attention to the wonderful things that are going on in your life. You are worthy of not asking all those questions and causing yourself more and more pain. And you are certainly worthy of saying your affirmations and telling yourself how wonderful you are. You are worthy of that. Okay? So I need you to be doing those things consistently. I swear they work if you do them. Do those things consistently. And then if you're struggling or you feel like you can't keep up with it, you're going to need some scheduling to be able to pull this off. Come work with me in the After Infidelity Mastermind. Lakeisha's coming. Lakeisha's coming out to be in the After Infidelity Mastermind. Charmaine, you coming? Let me know. I want you to come and join me. If you were she's gone now. But either way, if you are struggling with it and you can't figure this out, I have the answers. I have been through it. I have been down in the hole that you are in, and I know the way out of the hole. All you need to do is come follow me. All you need to do is sign yourself up for this After Infidelity Mastermind and say, yes, absolutely. I am worthy of getting out of pain. I am worthy of getting the help that I need. And I'm going to have the love and life that I truly want. I'm going to be in alignment with it. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be joyful. I'm going to be filled with gratitude. All right. Let me put the page in the comments. Everybody's going to the page. Wait, you gotta go ahead and sign up for it. Gotta go ahead and click the link. Get on in on this. But all right, copy that. I'll put that in the comments. It's in my bio on Instagram already, and it'll be in the comments right now. The link right here to join my After Infidelity Mastermind and get in on this 12 weeks of group coaching. You can't find a better value for this. For you to be able to actually stay and feel good about staying and change the relationship, you can't find a better value than this. You absolutely can't. I have not found one. All right. I was looking because, hey, look, I've been through it too. So I want to see what's out there. There is no better value than this for 12 whole weeks of coaching where you can actually get on stable ground and feel like, I know how to do this. I can do this. I can move forward. I do not have to continue to suffer anymore. I don't want you to suffer. Okay. Alrighty, y'all. That's about it. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. I'll be back again next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, do all the things. Do your deep breathing, do your journaling, do your gratitude practice. Stop asking all those questions. Do your affirmations. And more than anything, stop doing what the fear and the pain tell you to do. It is always going to lead you down the wrong path. The fear and the pain will lead you to the path of hurting. We do not want the hurting path. We want the healing path. You got to do the opposite of what the fear and the pain tell you to do if you want to be on the healing path. Whatever it says, whatever it's screaming at you to do, it's screaming, go through his phone. Don't go through his phone. If it's screaming, put the GPS on, take the GPS off. Everything that the fear and the pain are trying to demand that you do not do them, and you will be on the healing path. All right. All righty, y'all. That's about it. I will talk to you again next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. I'll see you then. Bye. Bye, Instagram. And bye over here on Facebook and YouTube. Bye.